welcome to MTV's news update for today, February 8, 2022. I'm Sandy Ramodar. First, our top headlines. Parliamentary Affairs Ministry working to rebuild public trust in constitutional bodies. National athlete critical after truck crashes into car. Minister Mustafa defends $6 billion budgeted for Guy Suku. And in sport, IMMAF to support advancement of mixed martial arts in Guyana. Now for the news in details. The government of Guyana has budgeted a total of $148 million for the review and evaluation of field development plans and to conduct cost recovery audits of 7 oil blocks offshore Guyana. More in this report.
Just over $1.6 billion was on Tuesday approved for the Ministry of Natural Resources in the National Budget 2022. Responding to questions posed by the opposition, Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat disclosed that the government will be conducting cost recovery audits of all of the country's oil blocks.
Mr. Speaker, $88 million will go towards the review and evaluation of FDP, field development plans. $60 million will go towards the cost recovery audit. And Mr. Speaker, if I may just for clarity state that this is for the audit of the other blocks other than Stabroek, because there have never been any audits done on the other 7 blocks that were awarded, except for Stabroek, which we know that there is an audit ongoing and one that will start very soon as well.
Further, $2 million was allocated for legal services and $12 million for the implementation of a local content secretariat.
Mr. Chair, $15 million goes to the third-party inspectorate that is stationed on the FPSO. And as we are aware now, soon it will be for 2 FPSOs and not only 1, because Liza Unity will start up very soon. $18 million goes towards subscriptions to a number of international agencies and journals, including, if I may name a few, Mr. Speaker, Global Platts, Bloomberg Terminal, One Petro, the International Energy Agency, Oracle Crystal Ball. These are all international agencies that helps us to track vessels and also assist us at the Ministry of Natural Resources to seek out the best prices.
The minister also provided an update in the gas-to-energy project, which he noted was not budgeted for in the 2022 national budget, since there is a $200 million project under the World Bank to cater for associated studies.
With Local Government Minister Nigel Darmlal announcing that local government elections will be held this year, citizens of Georgetown are eager to head to the polls. More from Rihanna Griffith.
The Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, has been allocated a sum of $4.1 billion in Budget 2022 to host local government elections this year. News Update spoke with several citizens of Georgetown to get a sense of the mood for this upcoming process. The mood is one of eagerness to exercise their democratic rights.
I think it's a good thing for Guyana because we need to understand where we're going, where we've been, and where we're going future-wise. And local government election is necessity. Like again, I've always said that we need people that would love people and care about human beings. And once you have this love and this understanding for each other, from the head, we can be able to demonstrate it in an effective way in this country. So local government election is welcome. I welcome it. And I believe all Guyanese should welcome it to exercise their right to cast their vote.
Yeah, I'm very anticipated because it's a while now it haven't keep. I'm happy with that because probably might get a little bit more changes in the city. You do get a local government election, you could know who you have to go to, and they will try to get things sorted out.
Yes, this year is a good year for local government election because we didn't have it since in the last regime. Nah? Anyway, we're looking forward for new council, new arrangement.
Yes, I would be happy if we could have a local government election this year. It's very important. It's a democratic, it belongs to the democratic system, and we should have local government this year.
Local government elections were last held in 2018 and Guyanese were expected to return to the polls in 2020. However, today that election has not been held after GCOM repeatedly indicated that they were not prepared. Rihanna Griffith for MTV's News Update.
The Committee of Supply has approved $28.7 billion for the agriculture sector in the national 2022 budget, and Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa has defended the $6 billion that is being pumped into the sugar company. Here is Luan Williams.
Opposition Member of Parliament German Figueroa on Tuesday questioned the government on when the Ghana Sugar Corporation will become profitable, as millions are being pumped into the company. In response, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said the government will do whatever it takes to make Guyana to where it was before. He said this will be achieved by making sugar more value-added, as monies have been allocated for enhancing the packaging plant in Iflot and the establishing of a packaging plant in Albion. The minister also said they are working towards making the industry more diversified.
Mr. Chair, we are working to go there to break even. First of all, that is our main objective, is to break even. We have a strategic plan that we're working with now. As I said, that the 3 operating estates will enhance that tremendously this year.
Meanwhile, the minister explained that the Skeldon estate will be reopened in phases. Minister Mustafa also revealed that the $30 billion given to Gaisuku in 2019 by the National Industrial and Commercial Investment Limited (NISL) to retrofit and revitalize the 3 remaining sugar estates has been exhausted.
As I said, that when we get into government, we were able to spend $3.8 billion from the bank, and then we had to put money from Gaisuku.
$28.7 billion was approved in the Committee of Supply following the consideration of the estimates for the Ministry of Agriculture on Tuesday, $55 million for the improvement of the aquaculture sector, and $60 million for the provision of fences and equipment for the Hydromet Department. Luan Williams for MTV's News Update.
You're watching MTV's News Update. More news on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Gaffurs, manufacturers of the perfect concrete hollow block in sizes 4 inches and 6 inches, certified by the Guyana National Bureau of Standards and hydraulically tested by the University of Guyana to 2,000 pounds per square inch. Pallet packed and shrink wrapped for easy transportation too. So get your supplies of the best quality made concrete hollow blocks in Guyana and also get a 12.5% discount. For superior service, quality and competitive prices, visit Gaffurs Mega Complex at Macdoon and our outlets at Rose Hall, Kanji, Bedford Acting, Means, Land of Canaan, and Parika.
It's a 50% off sale on all evening cocktail, prom, and club dresses. Classic Styles, 117 Regent Street, telephone 223-1594.
Modern Optical Service has made it even better by introducing its budgeted spectacle line, starting as low as $10,000 for single vision lens and $12,000 for bifocal lens, available in tinted or clear, complete spectacles at affordable prices. So hurry down to our main office at 316 Middle Street or Lot 14 Diamond Public Road opposite Demerara Bank. Enjoy over 60 years of eye care experience at affordable prices. Modern Optical Service, your eye care professionals.
Are you building or renovating your home? Then come to Beeson for a wide range of aluminum and UPVC windows and doors. Get from single hung sash, awning, casement, sliding windows, plus sliding and swinging doors. All our products can be customized and fitted with insect screens and are sealed tight to withstand harsh weather conditions. At Beeson's, we also carry commercial, glass and French doors, showcases, aluminum louvers, curtain walls, aluminum rails, plus sliding and frameless shower doors. So look no further. Visit our showroom today at Lot 1228 Eccles Industrial Site or call 622-4197 or 623-4197. Beeson Windows and Doors, built with pride in Guyana by Guyanese.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority has employed the services of rangers, and we're kindly asking you, the members of the public, for your full cooperation as we seek to bring order and semblance to communities under our management. Our rangers are responsible for the monitoring of schemes for contravention under the Town and Country Planning Act and agreement of sales issued to allottees, responding appropriately to reports made by members of the public or allottees in schemes where there are illegal activities in contravention of the CHMPA's policies and the Town and Country Planning Act, to undertake investigations into report on the misuse of the roads, squatting, animal nuisance, and dumping of garbage and derelict vehicles in schemes, issue notices for illegal construction and letters regarding penalties to be paid for the storage of materials on the roads within our schemes. Our rangers will be properly identifiable at all times, as they have all been outfitted with the agency's badge. From time to time, they will be in your community, so in order for them to function effectively and better serve you, your cooperation is needed.
A message from the Central Housing and Planning Authority.
This is MTV's News Update. Welcome back. National volleyball player Christoph Shepard is in a serious condition after the vehicle he was driving ended up into the path of a motor lorry. Olympian Chelsea Edgell, who was also in the vehicle, has been discharged after being treated for minor injuries. Here is more.
National volleyball player Christoph Shepard of Now or Never Mahaikuni Village, East Coast Demerara, is currently hospitalized and in a serious condition at the Georgetown Public Hospital following an accident on Monday. Police said the accident, which involved a car and motor lorry, occurred around 21 hours at the intersection of Nelson Mandela and Hope Stretch Avenue. Shepard was driving the motor car along with two passengers, Chelsea Edghill and Nikasi Lewis. According to the police, the motor lorry was proceeding north along the western carriageway of Nelson Mandela Avenue, while the motor car was proceeding east along the northern drive lane of Homestretch Avenue when the accident occurred. Shepard was attempting a right turn when he ended up into the path of the lorry, causing both vehicles to be damaged. Shepard, along with Edghill and Lewis, were removed from the vehicle in a conscious state and taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital. Edghill and Lewis were treated and sent away, while Shepard remains a patient at the GPHC. A breathalyzer test was conducted on the driver of the motor lorry, and no trace of alcohol was found in his system. The motor lorry driver remains in custody, assisting with the investigations. Luan Williams for MTV's News Update.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira, while appearing on the talk show Budget in Focus, says the performance of constitutional bodies over the last 2 years in respect to fulfilling their mandates has been uneven. Minister Teixeira says this may be as a result of various challenges faced by these respective bodies. More in this report.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira says the operations of constitutional bodies over the last 2 years have been uneven. According to Ms. Teixeira, while some bodies are able to perform effectively, some are not. And this may be the case because people have lost trust in some of these commissions.
I think it's uneven. You can't make a sweeping comment about all of them. Parliament Office, yes. Auditor Office, yes. Supreme Court, yes. DPP, yes. But then there's some others that have a lot of weaknesses, either in terms of capacity, in terms of, in some of them, the commissions have expired. We now have to appoint them.
When questioned about how these various bodies without a commission have been operating all the time, Ms. Teixeira explains that the secretariats were functional.
So that some have not had a commission in 2021, so the secretariats were functioning, but they could not do certain interventions that only the commissions can do, which relate to policy or if there's an investigation.
This year, she notes that heavy emphasis will be placed on rebuilding public trust.
That we look at building their capacity, training, having standardized rules and ways in which they deal with complaints so that the public has confidence in them. They trust and have confidence in them.
Rihanna Griffith for MTV's News Updates.
The National Assembly on Monday approved another $660 million to offset the cost of legal fees for the Guyana-Venezuela border case that is ongoing. More in this report.
A sum of $660 million has been allocated in Budget 2022 to offset the legal fees for the Guyana-Venezuela border case currently at the International Court of Justice. This was revealed by Minister of Foreign Affairs Hugh Todd as he was responding to questions from Opposition Member of Parliament and Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs Amanso Walthon this year.
And I noticed that there is almost a doubling of the allocation. It has increased by some 403 million thereabout. Could the Honourable Minister indicate what are the activities that are to be undertaken that would occasion this doubling, and could he indicate the cost of each activity?
Legal fees, 660 million. Public relations activities, 25 million. And diaspora, 50 million. To digitalize the ministry records will be 10 million. Remittances, bank charges, 40 million. Software applications, 24 million. Translation, interpretation services, 900,000. And advertisements, 100,000.
The Foreign Affairs Minister did not provide a further breakdown of the sum, but the monies were approved by the Committee of Supply. Guyana in 2018 moved to the International Court of Justice with the case challenging Venezuela over the disagreement of the border. 4 years later, Guyana on March 8th of this year will submit its memorial on the border controversy. Guyana is seeking that the final judgment rules that the 1899 arbitral award, which establishes the boundary between the two countries, remains valid and binding, and rules that Essequibo belongs to Guyana and not Venezuela. Venezuela thus far maintains that the Essequibo County belongs to the Spanish-speaking nation and that the 1899 agreement is not valid. Rihanna Griffith for MTV's News Update.
More news coming up after the break.
You can be a millionaire by only spending $100 on a Daily Million ticket. Simply pick any 5 numbers from 1 to 26, or you can buy a quick pick for your chance to win the Daily Millions. Purchase your tickets daily, Monday through Saturday, to get a chance to win $1 million every day. So, feeling lucky? Then buy a Daily Millions ticket today. Remember, a ticket today could make you rich today.
It happens. Your septic tank is full. All the waste from your toilet goes into your septic tank through the sewage line. When your tank is full, the 2 most common indicators are an overflowing tank and an overflowing toilet. It is recommended that Sevon's Waste Management empty your septic tank every 2 to 3 years to avoid any embarrassment. And before you can say, shh, it's gone. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
Are you running around looking for construction materials? Well, run down to Lens for affordable, high-quality building supplies. We have the widest range of grade A floor and wall tiles in any shape, size, and designs. And all types of ceramics, porcelain glazed, and full-body porcelain. We stock the largest collection of large format tiles. Check out our porcelain slabs as big as 10 feet by 4.5 feet. Add a bit of elegance with our large range of decorative molding. Our line of PPG paints will give you vibrant colors that won't fade. With our wall and ceiling gypsum system, it's light, durable, and fast. So come down to Lens at 136 Sher Street, which is next to Buddy's and Pizza Hut, for that 31 years of Lens quality.
Region Paint from the US, a brand that's recognized worldwide. Special wholesale prices starting at $3,400 for the emulsion and $3,800 for the oil. 4 gallons bucket for just $12,000. Also, the Royal paints were crafted for people with a budget. Special introductory price on the semi-gloss top coat for just $1,500 per gallon and the roof and floor paint for just $5,500 for 1.5 gallons. Come and visit our showroom at Lot 140B Quamina Street or call telephone 622-0601 or 504-3908 for more information. Grab onto these special prices with 30 shades and more to choose from while stocks last. Let's paint Guyana, everybody!
You're tuned to MTV's News Update. The University of Ghana Foundation was on Tuesday launched to achieve supplementary funding to help the tertiary learning institution achieve long-term goals. Governed by a board of trustees, the aim of the foundation is to invest in green spaces at the university campuses and provision of scholarships among other projects. More in this report.
Challenged with limited financial resources, the University of Ghana Foundation was on Tuesday launched to help the institution raise funds to take on major challenges. According to Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin, 67% of the sums needed to develop the university over the next 3 to 4 years will be sourced from areas other than tuition fees and the government. She explained that $11 billion is needed to fund the university projects and programs, while only $3.5 billion was provided in the national budget. The virtual launch also saw presentations from the various trustees who will manage the fund and Minister of Education, Priya Manichan. In her presentation, the Education Minister noted that the foundation will help the tertiary institution to achieve its strategic objectives.
It is within this dynamic country context that the UG Foundation is being launched as a key partner, supporting efforts at building a viable, premier tertiary institution with universal appeal. It is highly encouraging to note that the UG Foundation has expanded its scope through the establishment of associate groups in jurisdictions across the globe. Such strategic positioning will significantly advance the Foundation's ability to attract endowments, assist UG in fostering partnerships with a series of regional and international higher educational institutions, and with private sector foundations and organizations. This bodes well for its future prospects of generating philanthropic support for students, faculty, research, academic, and other planned developmental objectives of the university.
The foundation, which has already received its first donations, will be working towards the creation of green spaces on campus, sports facilities, sustainable housing for students, and provide scholarships to vulnerable students. Efforts will also be placed on modernizing essential systems and services and accelerate innovation through centers of excellence and research institutes. The University Council in June 2018 approved the establishment of the foundation based on a proposal by then Deputy Vice Chancellor Professor Mohammed. The University of Ghana Foundation was incorporated in November 2021. Its function is differentiated from that of the Office of Philanthropy, Alumni and Civic Engagement, which helps to set and achieve the institutional immediate operational fundraising targets for the university, whereas the UG Foundation is focused on creating a substantial long-term endowment fund for the university, which UG has never had.
Minister of Public Works One Edgel says the completion of Phase 1 of the safe space to be created along the Lamaha corridor, where the old railway station was situated, will be completed in time for Valentine's Day. Here is more.
Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel says works on the Lamaha corridor, also known as the safe space, are 90% completed. The area is considered to be a safe space for citizens as sale of alcohol and the playing of music is prohibited.
We have started putting in the guardrails to the canals. So what are the purpose of the guardrails? If you go to drive, even if you accidentally mash your accelerator, you must never end up in the trench. You must never overrun the paved area and get into the trench. So we are securing the entire parking area with guardrails. We have to put a facade at the front of Camp Street, which will give you a nice appearance, as well as we want to be able to put in a facade at the Parade Street entrance. So entrance and putting in a kind of an arrangement that could control that people don't drive in and be driving on the walkway. Because, you know, we have some unconscionable people who like to be extreme. And if we're going to have our kids out there, we must ensure their safety.
Minister Edghill told News Update that it will be open to the public in a matter of days. The area will be fitted with benches and there will also be a green space.
Now, when you get there, you can drive and park. Come out of your car for Valentine's. You could be able to walk down the entire paved area with the decorative blocks. There are lights on both sides. Trees that have already been planted. Yes, trees have already been planted. By next year, Valentine, you'll be able to pick the flowers to give to your sweetheart. Benches are going to be installed. And there is washroom facilities. Everything that you could imagine. Bring the kids out, let them play, let them come out with their tricycle or their little bike and enjoy running. You know, the kids are locked up at home, especially in this COVID time. They need a safe space.
Meanwhile, works have commenced on phase 2 of the project, which runs from Parade to Main Street and is expected to be completed within 2 months' time. A food court and an art gallery will be established in this section. Luan Williams for MTV's News Update.
Now for tonight's score rundown.
Robbery convict Akeem Edwards, who was found guilty by a 12-member jury for killing a fellow inmate of the Mazaruni prison, has been sentenced to 47 years in prison. The sentence was handed down by Justice Priya Sunarayan Bihari at the High Court in Essequibo. The court heard that on September 14, 2014, in Essequibo, Edwards murdered 21-year-old Tion Smith, who was serving a 5-year sentence for robbery under arms. Justice Sunarayan Bihari sentenced the convict to 47 years imprisonment and ordered prison authorities to deduct the time he has already spent in custody. He must serve 40 years before becoming eligible for parole. This was Edwards' second trial for this murder, with his first ended in a hung jury. Facts state that Smith was stabbed to death by Edwards during an argument at the Mazaruni prison. It was reported that the incident escalated when Smith went to retrieve a cell phone from a known hiding spot, but could not find it. Smith then accused Edwards of removing the phone. It was reported that during the lunch break at the penitentiary, Edwards armed himself with a knife, went over to Smith's cell and dealt him several stabs about the body. The injured inmate was rushed to the Partica Regional Hospital where doctors pronounced him dead on arrival. 51-year-old Derek Cox, a minor of Lot 105 Light Street, Georgetown, has been charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. The accused, who was arrested 3 days ago, was hauled before Magistrate Ann McLennan at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where he pleaded not guilty to the charge. The court heard that police received a tip-off and went to Cox's home at Imbaidamai, where a search unearthed a quantity of seeds, leaves, and stems suspected to be cannabis sativa stashed in a 5-gallon bucket. He was placed on a $100,000 bail and he will make another court appearance on March 14, 2022. For MTV's Court Roundup, Jessica Callender.
We now take a look at tips for healthy living, brought to you with the kind compliments of Natura's high and low milk powder, distributed by Dabby's Variety.
What does Natura High and Low Milk Powder have? It is fortified with the extra goodness of vitamins A, C, D, E, and K. It is high in calcium, protein, and enriched with folic acid, all of which help to strengthen your immune system. What it doesn't have is fat and cholesterol. Natura High and Low. Healthy can taste good. Available at all leading supermarkets and groceries nationwide. Natura High and Low Milk Powder is not for infants 1 year and under.
glaucoma. We've all heard about it, an ocular condition that could potentially take your sight if left untreated. But as dangerous as it sounds, is it? If found, is it a death sentence for your eyes? What are the causes and symptoms? And more importantly, what can we do to treat it? Well, to answer all of those questions and more, we paid a visit to Dr. Shannon De Silva, optometrist of De Silva's Optical, and she gave us all of the answers we were looking for.
All right, so quickly, simple question. What is glaucoma?
Glaucoma is a name given to a group of eye conditions that cause damage to the optic nerve, which is at the back of the eye. Glaucoma has different types. So if we're going to talk about glaucoma, we're going to talk about the types, which would be open angle, closed angle, congenital, born with it from birth, and low tension glaucoma, which is the 4 types that we'd be looking for. If we think about the eyeball and think about the eyeball as a ball, anything that's a ball needs pressure to keep it in that shape. Oh, really? Yeah, so basketball needs air in the ball for the ball to stay inflated, a football as well. If you take the air out, it collapses, right? So all eyeballs in all animals, not just humans, it has a jelly in there. And that jelly there has to be a certain quantity of it in our eye to keep the ball within a certain amount of pressure, like tire pressure. If your air tire is low, you have a flat tire. So we need the right amount of pressure in your eye, not too much, but also not too little.
So what are some symptoms of glaucoma a person should recognize if they possibly have?
That's a really good question. So glaucoma is known as being an asymptomatic eye condition, which means it has no symptoms. So you could have glaucoma and not know anything. I find most glaucoma patients are sensitive to light. They talk about a sharp pain at the back of the eye with bright light. You being extra sensitive to light does not mean you have glaucoma, I should say that. And I think this is why we say it's asymptomatic.
So what can cause glaucoma?
So glaucoma is mostly hereditary. So if you have a family member with glaucoma, this puts you at higher risk immediately. So if you have one member in the family with glaucoma, your risk goes up 50% that you probably have glaucoma that can develop or you have it at the time. So we encourage highly patients who have family members with it, grandparents, an uncle, an aunt, to get their eyes checked regularly because there's a good chance that you could have it.
You mentioned that it is hereditary, right? Mm-hmm. So there's not much you can control there.
Unfortunately,
right?
No.
Yeah, so I guess there is no way a person can prevent from getting glaucoma in the first place. Nothing
That's
a person
correct.
could do.
That goes for me as well because I have glaucoma in my family.
All right.
So I can develop glaucoma.
All right. Mm-hmm. So it's just luck and chance and a genetic lottery, I guess.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So if diagnosed with glaucoma, what's the next course of action? What are the treatment options, if any?
So if you're diagnosed with glaucoma, your treatment options are mostly ophthalmic drops, eye drops. Drops that are used on various parts of the eye to reduce the eye pressure, to either better the drainage within the system of the eye, or to lower or raise the eye pressure within the eye. If all of this doesn't work, many ophthalmologists, eye surgeons, then decide to do surgery to get the drainage and the eye pressure under control. It's just
so there is no cure.
There isn't a cure, but there's management.
There's management.
And if you're a good patient and you're going to, your eye specialist and they're managing you properly, then glaucoma. I have lots of patients with glaucoma. Luckily, they still have 20/20 vision. They can see, they can read the smallest print. And this is because we're managing the condition. You don't know you have glaucoma when you have it. So it's not something that you should play around with. It's something that you should be proactive about. So raising awareness on an eye condition like glaucoma, I think, is very important. So you don't find out that you have glaucoma too late. So, and again, because you have no symptoms, you could very well be in your car driving. You think that you have perfect vision because you can see up the road and read the license plates. not knowing that you have a relative with glaucoma who maybe have passed on and you didn't know their eye history, and so you may have it. So it's a good thing to just get checked. We'll give you good news hopefully, and then you be on your way.
What does Natura high and low milk powder have? It is fortified with the extra good nights of vitamins A, C, D, E, and K. It is high in calcium, protein, and enriched with folic acid, all of which help to strengthen your immune system. What it doesn't have is fat and cholesterol. Natura, high and low, healthy, can taste good. Available at all leading supermarkets and groceries nationwide. Natura high and low milk powder is not for infants 1 year and under.
ISG and MTV's Sport Update comes up after the break with Jessica Canada. Stay tuned.
Bison Windows and Doors is having a big New Year sale. Hurry now and save on aluminum sash windows with insect repellent, going only for $14,900, VAT inclusive. Available in black or white frames, tinted or reflective glass. Also at Bison's, buy 10 windows and get one bathroom window absolutely free. Offer available while stocks last. So hurry to Bison Windows and Doors, Lot 1228, Eccles Industrial Site, and save.
Employees, it's time to start requesting your 7B slip from your employers. This is an important document that is needed in the preparing and filing of your income tax return on or before April 30. You must ensure that your TIN, ID, and period worked are correctly stated on your 7B slip. You must also ensure that your slip is signed and stamped by your employer, finance, or accounts officer. Remember, the deadline for 2021 income tax payment and filing return is April 30, 2022. Don't forget, you can file your tax returns online using GRA's e-service. Visit the GRA's website at www.gra.gov.gy or call Tax Advisory Services on 227-6060 extension 8000 for more information on signing up for e-service. GRA, your partner in development.
Fibertech materials are used in a multitude of ways, from repairing and fabrication of auto body, fishing, and household items. We have available various fiberglass mattings, resin, mold releases, brushes, and rollers for all of your repair needs. We offer technical advice and free training to ensure you get the job done. For further information, call us at 220-6907 or 220-9192.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority is kindly asking residents living in communities under the management of the department to desist from storing construction materials on roadways and road shoulders. Residents are also being asked not to block roadways or drains with construction materials. According to clauses 12 and 13 of the amended agreement of sale of restrictive covenants attached to titles issued from 2012, no storage of materials comprising earth, sand, stone, blocks, cements, timber and steel or mixing of concrete shall be permitted on the road or the road shoulders. Any materials on the road or the road shoulders must be cleared within 24 hours of being placed thereon. Residents are reminded that failure to adhere to clauses 12 and 13 will result in a penalty of $10,000 being charged per day of default. A message from the Central Housing and Planning Authority.
Win big with Ultra Lubricants. Win a Toto backpack every week. To enter, purchase any Ultra Lubricants. Send us a picture of your receipt via WhatsApp to 604-5810. Winners will be randomly chosen weekly. Promotion ends February 28, 2022. ISG, the best opportunity to make the right choice.
Executive member of the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation with responsibility for the Pan American region, Jason Fraser, is currently in Ghana engaging the Ghana Mixed Martial Arts Association to support the development of the sport locally.
Jason Fraser, who is the president of the Caribbean Mixed Martial Arts Federation, is currently in talks with the president of the Guyana Mixed Martial Arts Federation, Gavin Singh. Topping the discussions on the agenda was the hosting of regional and international competitions locally. Fraser says having countries attend these competitions in Guyana will help showcase Guyana's culture through sport tourism and the hosting of workshops. Fraser notes that Guyana's major challenge in hosting these events, aside from financial constraints, is the fact that Guyana does not have an octagon.
With proper marketing, the sports tourism part of it, this gonna be big. In order for it to happen, I challenge the president in his 18 months with what he have done. In 90 days, get an octagon for Guyana. Let Guyana have its own octagon so the athletes in Guyana could be able to train in an octagon, compete in an octagon and not a ring, not on a mat, not on judo mat, so that they could better represent Guyana.
He has proposed that Guyana can host either the IMMAF Caribbean Championships this year or the 2024 Pan American Games. Fraser also wants to see more grassroots levels competitions and events such as Fight Central. Fight Central was the first MMA event ever hosted in Guyana, held on April 23, 2017. The Guyana Police Force Mixed Martial Arts Club plans to host an MMA tournament in early March.
They have never been under no IF, whether it's judo, wrestling, MMA, sambo, no combat sport, kickboxing, has ever held a world championship in this part of the world. And we in the Caribbean, if we collectively have to put our heads together and do it, that is one of the footprints I really want us to leave. If it means Guyana have to bid for it, Trinidad have to bid for it, we'll fight for it. The key is believing, and believing comes with commitment. But we could actually have all the belief and all the commitment. But if we don't have the funding, those dreams will not become a reality.
Fraser also hopes to see more youth development with the implementation of school-based programs and possibly inter-region competitions. The international body has made a commitment to provide funding to assist in these programs. However, Fraser underscored that it is vital that the Ministry of Sport, National Sports Commission, and local sponsors lend their support to ensure these programs become a success. The IMMAF will also be providing support through the provision of coaches and international referees to help further develop athletes.
Athletes at the Beijing 2022 Games have complained that they are living and training in dismal conditions, prompting them to lobby organizers for improvements.
Beijing kicked off the Winter Games 4 days ago, promising it would be streamlined, safe, and splendid. However, BBC reports that athletes have since complained of the freezing conditions and quarantine rules pouring in. The Swedish delegation called for cross-country skiing events to be held earlier in the day to protect athletes from freezing temperatures, after Swedish athlete Frida Karlsson was seen shaking and close to collapse at the end of her race. A handful of COVID-19 cases, including athletes and team officials, have been reported at the Games, with frustration bubbling over the confusion surrounding COVID isolation rules. Earlier last week, Belgian skeleton racer Kim Mielmans posted a tearful account on Instagram, alleging that she had been bounced from one isolation facility to another. Polish speed skater Natalia Maliswiecka also claimed she was unexpectedly released from quarantine the night before a qualifying race, only to be sent back into isolation hours before competing, following a positive COVID test. Separately, Russian biathlon competitor Valeria Vanessova expressed her frustration with the food provided in isolation, posting on Instagram of what she said was breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days already. Her profile is set to private, but the image of the meal, plain pasta, potatoes, charred meat on the bone, and no vegetables, was captured by some on social media. The BBC has been unable to verify these claims. International Olympic Committee IOC Sports Director Kit McConnell said the isolation conditions of athletes were top priority, and they were taking steps to address individual circumstances which are still challenging. Meanwhile, others have praised China's determined efforts to ensure relatively virus-free games, including deep cleaning of sleep pods between users, regular spraying of disinfectant, and deploying robots in kitchens and bars for food preparation and distribution.
The Ghana Harp Eagles are set to take on the Windward's Volcanoes tomorrow as red ball cricket returns to the region.
Guyana's national cricket team will be competing in the West Indies Championship beginning on Wednesday. First-class red ball cricket is returning for the first time since the onset of the pandemic as teams compete for the Headley Weeks Trophy in a 5-round tournament scheduled for the 6 professional regional franchises. This series also provides an opportunity for West Indian players to stake their claim for selection to the West Indies Test squad for the forthcoming Apex Test series between West Indies and England in March 2022. Leon Johnson, captain of the Guyana Harpy Eagles, says that the chance of qualifying for a West Indies team gives the players extra motivation to put out their best performance.
Yeah, it always is. It always is. Selection into the international side has to be one of the goals of every player in our side. Obviously, that won't happen overnight or after 2 games for some, but good performances always count. I think looking at the test side, they have struggled a bit, especially batting wise. They've struggled a bit. So I think their place is there for batters who score big runs.
Kevin Hodge, captain of the Windward's Volcanoes, also expressed similar sentiments.
The guys have not been in competition for a little while, and everyone's anxious to get out there and display their talent, showcase the talent so they can prove themselves at this level. In terms of the game tomorrow, once our team could execute our plans well, I think we got a good chance of winning the game or getting the most points of the game.
The Windwards faced the Guyana Harpy Eagles in the first round at the Queen's Park Oval from February 9th to 12th. The Windward Islands team has never won the regional 4-day title, but players from the territories were part of the combined islands team that won the title in 1980 to 81.
The Guyana Cricket Board has expressed their condolences to the family members of the late Jerry Bermall on his passing. Jerry was a former club cricketer who participated in cricket tournaments on the East Coast MRR, as well as a former president of the Enmore Cricket Club and also of the East Coast Cricket Board. He was a member of the special committee which was responsible for constituting the East Coast Cricket Umpires Association and vice president and senior selector of the Demerara Cricket Board. Bermall also showed his commitment to the sport through his work coordinating tournaments for the Guyana Cricket Board, excelling in many positions on the GCB's subcommittees, especially those assigned for international tours. The Women's Tennis Association is calling for an investigation into the sexual assault allegations recently retracted by Chinese tennis star Peng Shuai.
The Women's Tennis Association (WTA) says Peng Shuai's latest interview about her sexual assault allegations does not alleviate its concerns. Peng had accused a Chinese government leader of sexually assaulting her, but in November, in a social media post, it was swiftly deleted and the player then disappeared for weeks. However, in a recent in-person interview, Peng said she never alleged sexual assault. Peng also told the outlet that she was living a normal life, a line which has also been used by Chinese state officials about her previously. She also expressed thanks for the concern directed towards her. The 36-year-old sporting star also hinted that she could retire from professional tennis. The WTA's chief executive and chairman, Steve Simon, noted that Peng took a bold step publicly coming forward with the accusation and is calling for a formal investigation into the allegations by the appropriate authorities. He was also hoping that the WTA can have an opportunity to meet with her privately. The player has been in attendance at the Beijing Winter Olympics and on Tuesday watched her compatriot Eileen Gu win gold in the women's big air event. The International Olympic Committee has also said that its president, Thomas Bach, had dinner with Peng on Saturday. Bach had been one of the first to vouch for her safety after she disappeared in 2021, and the pair held a video call when there were concerns over her whereabouts and well-being.
That brings us to the end of Sport Update, which was brought to you with a kind compliments of ISG. More after the break.
Win big with Ultra Lubricants. Win a Toto backpack every week. To enter, purchase any Ultra Lubricants. Send us a picture of your receipt via WhatsApp to 604-5810. Winners will be randomly chosen weekly. Promotion ends February 28, 2022. ISG, the best opportunity to make the right choice.
And that brings down the curtain into tonight's newscast. But before we go, here's a reminder of our top stories. Parliamentary Affairs Ministry working to rebuild public trust in constitutional bodies. National athlete critical after truck crashes into car. Minister Mustafa defends $6 billion budgeted for Guy Suku. And in sport, IMMAF to support advancement of mixed martial arts in Guyana. Catch our broadcast tomorrow at 6 hours 30. Don't forget to like our Facebook page where the news can be viewed live at 19 hours 30. On behalf of our news and technical teams, Sandy Ramotar saying stay safe and goodbye for now.